Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Mielabraika, and today I'm looking at Rosh Pisgah. This is the location that God chose to have his last chat, his last teaching with Moses. And it's the top of a high mountain. It's a place where you can see a whole lot of countryside. And Satan also was able to pick a spot. It doesn't specify it, but looks a whole lot like Pisgah, I would say, to take a look at all the countries of the world and, of course, use that as to tempt Jesus. So we'll start with Rosh Pisgah, the top of Pisgah. And we're getting into the last days of Moses' life here. Deuteronomy 34, verse 1. Ve'al Moshe me arvot Moab al har Nebo. And then Moses went up to the plains. Arba is Merabah. That's the plains, the plural form of the word here, Arba. Arbaot, Moab of Moab. El Har, to the mountain, Nebo, Mount Nebo. Rosh ha-Pisgah asher al fenei Jericho. Okay, this is the head, the top. Rosh is literally head, but the top, the summit. Okay. Rosh ha-Pisgah. Pisgah is the top with a cleft in it, a geh. You have a little a V in the top, and sort of a throwback to what happened out on Sinai, where Moses was hiding in the cleft of the rock. So somewhat remembrance of that. Okay, Hapishga Asher, which al fnei Jericho, which is before the face of Jericho. Yehu Jehovah et kol haaretz, and Jehovah made appear. Okay, this is causative here to take the Resh island, hey, full root here of the to see, and then Jehovah made to see, caused to see, okay, showed him et kol haaretz, all of the earth, et ha Gilead ad Dan, from Gilead, and this is probably Ramat Gilead. Okay, Jabesh Gilead would be close to the bottom of the valley, and Ramat Gilead would be in the top. It's a much higher mountain, much easier to see from Mount Nebo. It has to be a clear day, just to have had recent rains to be able to have a clear enough air to see it. So, but you can see it from Nebo. So, et ha Gilead ad Dan, and then Dan. Of course, Dan would be a little hard to see by itself, but you certainly can see Mount Hermon, and Dan is sitting right on Mount Hermon. This is looking directly north now. Okay, so they're going to go through numerous directions here. Ve'et kol Naphtali ve'et ha'aretz Ephraim u'Menashe. Okay, and then all of Naphtali and the land of Ephraim. Okay, Ephraim is the central part of the country. This is the fruitful area. Fer is the fruitful part, and Manasseh. And Manasseh, you can have both the east, both sides of the Jordan. There was a tribe that covered both sides of the Jordan, Manasseh, Manasseh. Ve'et kol eretz Yehuda, and all the land of Judah, now looking directly towards the west. Ad hayam ha'aharon, to the sea that is behind Aharon, and this is explained as the Western Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, because the ancient geographers would look to the east, the rising sun. So when you're facing something, you're facing the east. That's to the Kedem, to the east, and then the north would be to your left, south would be to your right, and the ocean would be behind you. So Aharon, that's the Western Sea. And it's quite possible to see that on a very clear day. You can be able to see the Mediterranean all the way from the top of Pisgah, from top of Nebo. And ve'et Hanegev, ve'et Hakirkar, Bekat Yericho. Okay, this is and the Negev. That's the Negev desert, of course. Ve'et Kirkar, and this is the flat land, the lowland. Kirkar, it's the land that is basically the flat areas that surrounds the Dead Sea. So Hakirkar. Keba, that's the valley. Bekat, valley of Jericho. Yeah, Richo. Ir is a city. ha-tamarim, of the palm trees. Ha-tamarim, tamar is palm, and tamarim is plural of it, masculine plural, the article in the front here. Ha-tamarim ad Zoar, as far as Zoar. Zoar, by the way, is the town where Lot hung out after the city of Gomorrah was destroyed. Small, actually, that's what it means, small place of hiding, and it's right there. They're at the bottom of the Dead Sea, so at the bottom end of, or the southern end of the Dead Sea. ויאמר יהוה אליו, זאת הארץ אשר נשבעתי לאברהם ויצחק ויעקב וליעקב. And Jehovah then said to him, Zot, this is the land which I have sworn. Okay, Shabbat. You can remember this through Beersheba, a place to make an oath or swear. Okay, which I've sworn, made an oath. Personal pronoun here, a personal noun or verb here at the end with a T. I have sworn towards Abraham, Avram, leIshak, to Isaac, leYaakov. Lemor, saying, lezerecha et nechna, and this is a prefix form of 10, okay, tan. The nun, of course, suffered the fetuses in the front here. We've got to place the aleph, this first person. I have given it, okay, so I have given it, et now. I've given it, riticha, which then you see it with be'enecha, you will see it with your eyes. Veshama, and to that place there, directional hay on the end of sham. Lo, not. Tabor, you will cross. You will cross over. You will not cross over there. You'll see it, won't be able to cross over. This was because of the disobedience of Moses, of course, when he didn't obey God in the desert regarding the rock, the water flowing out of the rock. And so Yamot, nice kamas hatuv here, syllable that's closed with no accent, so it's going to be an O sound. Yamot, Sham, there, Moshe, Ebed, Yehovah, Moses, servant of God, Jehovah, Be'eretz, in the land of, and maintain the segolate here and maintain the Milel accenting of it, Be'eretz, Moab, of Moab, Alfi Yehovah, from the mouth of Jehovah. And when Jehovah speaks something, he gives us a word. So instead of being very literal, translating P with his mouth, we will just say from the word of Jehovah. It's according to the word of Jehovah. Yekabor oto bege. Okay, we saw this in the gash in the very narrow valley. Okay, and then he buried him. This then is Jehovah. Yekabor, Oto, buried him, that is Moses, Bege in the valley, Ba'aretz in the land of Moab, Mul, that is opposite, Beit Peor, okay, this is a place that house of Peor, a well-known place for Baal Peor, worshipping of the Baal of Peor, a bad place, okay, a very nefarious place for idolatry. Mal Peor velo yada ish, and does not know any man. Et kerburato, its burial place, where he is placed, burial, ad until hayom, today, this day, until this day, today. Okay, so this is the monster pronoun on the end of the here, hayom. Hayom, when you say hayom, you say today, and then hazeh, this day, to this day. And now we're going to talk about worship here. Hishtahavita, okay. Ve'ata hine haviti et rishit, and so behold, okay. Ata hine, and this is now, behold, okay. Ata, and now, behold. Haviti, I will bring. Et rishti, that's the first fruit. Fri, rishti, fri is fruit, or fruit. Hadam, of the earth. Asher, natata, that I will give to, that you will give to me, Yehovah, okay, as Jehovah has given to me, okay, nata li Yehovah, Jehovah has given to me. Hinachto, this is a Noach resting verb here. I just look for nunchet, okay, so it fits in the middle of a lot of verbs. This is one of them. Cause to rest, cause to bring comfort, set it down in one spot, okay. nachto, and then you will set it down, lifnei, before the face of Jehovah, Elohecha, Jehovah your God, vehishta havita, and then you will worship. You will fall flat on your face in front of Jehovah, lifnei Yehovah, okay? You will prostrate fall is the old way of saying it, okay? Ha hishtavita, lifnei Yehovah, Elohecha, Jehovah your God. And in Deuteronomy 10 verse 12, we have a reference here to serving Jehovah. Okay, Ve'ata Yisrael ma Yehovah Elohecha Shaol. And now, Jehovah, what is Jehovah your God require of you? Shoel is asking of you. Me imach, from with you, ki im le rea, okay, which you will fear, to fear et Yehovah Elohecha, Jehovah your God. Lelaket, in order to walk, bekol derechav, in all of your ways, in all of his ways, okay. U le'ahava oto, and to love him, lehava oto, to love him. Both of these are this one's a purpose of definitive purpose here, in order to love him. Le'abod, and also the same thing, purpose of doing something here, and that is to serve. U la'abod et Yehovah Elohecha bekol levacha bekol nafsheha. Just missing here the me'olicha that you would have from the Shema, but have at least 2/3 of it here. Bekol levacha bekol nafsheha. So to serve Jehovah your God, that's required of you. And in Matthew 4, devil is appearing before Jesus, and the devil took him to a high mountain, very much like Pisgah, showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory, and he said to him, all these I give to you if you will fall down and worship me. And then Jesus said to him, begone, Satan, it's written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and only him shall you serve. Jesus is quoting here, the first time out worshiping here, ha hishtevecha, hashtivichta, ye will serve, worship before the face of Jehovah your God. And then, so the first part of the answer comes to Deuteronomy 26:10. The second part comes from 10:12, and that is, Le'abod et Yehovah Elohecha, you shall serve only Jehovah your God. Now, the temptation that the devil offers Jesus is a well-known tool in Satan's toolkit. Living a life in obedience to God often seems very difficult, and we look for alternatives. Satan's ready with plenty of alternatives. Slogging through the Sinai desert is a hard, dusty trail. So the people ask for a pliable religious leader, find them in Aaron, for an alternative, and a golden calf appears. Water can take a long time to spring from the rock, so the alternative is give it a good whack. The pagan cultures have the most marvelous latest technologies, so they must have the best gods. That's what they were thinking when they saw these huge walls. Satan knew what God had done on the top of Pisgah. Now he offers himself as an alternative to God. Jesus knows all about this bait and switch, and he counters with scripture, and that affirms that only God is to be worshipped and to be served. And that's what we have before us. When somebody comes to us with scripture and tries to encourage us into doing something that is obviously against the will of God, and even with the Bible in the hand, watch out. Look at it very carefully. Think about what God's will is for your life, and live by that teaching you have received, not by what some funny plans that somebody's offering you. Be very careful and look to the scriptures for guidance in how you will resolve the temptations you face in life. Some of these things might seem very good. I mean, Satan comes up with some of the most attractive alternatives, some of the most attractive things, some of the most beautiful women and so forth. But watch out, be very careful that the things you do are done entirely within the will of God, as God has showed his will to you. God bless, and until the next time.